Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is your Dr. Joy. Thank you all very much for your continued support, sending me nice questions, comments, booking lessons with me, and sending donations as well. I really appreciate. So, but I have to confess, I came to realization that I cannot answer all your questions. I thought I could, but the questions are getting piled up and I'm getting way behind. I'm so sorry about that. I have to now decide the questions that could benefit most of you, and then I'll try to make videos about that. But if your questions are more specific, or if you want to answer rather quicker, and I encourage you to book sessions with me, just send me an email to topiaviolins@gmail.com. I will put that one in the description below for online lessons. So I give one-on-one live lessons or video exchange lessons. So that could be done via Skype, FaceTime, and all other forms like Messenger and so on. I hope you can understand. So today we're going to talk about switching from viola, or switching from violin to viola, or vice versa. So I'm getting a lot of questions about that one, and some students come to me like, violin, I find it quite hard. Can I just switch to viola and then maybe I have things a bit easier? And my answer is no, it's not easier. It may be different, but I don't think it's easier. It's just you need to have some transition time, but certainly it's doable, and even it's a good idea to be able to play both instruments. So if you can have both instruments, why not, right? So I'm going to talk about a little about that. So first, violin and viola looks pretty similar when you look at that. You can tell, so violin versus viola. Viola is a bit larger. I mean, this viola that I have is a rather small one. It's a 15 inches, so one with a small viola. There are a little larger ones too, but I'm a small person, so my viola is rather small one. So if I just put it side by side, let's see if I can do that. So you can see the viola is a bit larger, like that, can you tell? And like that, so tiny bit. Other than larger size, so viola has extra C string, so let's see. In violin, we have E, A, D, and G, right? Viola, we don't have E string, but we have an additional lower string, which is really cool. So we start on A, then D, G, and C, which a lot of violists fall in love with. The extra C string is kind of really beautiful. So now that's one thing, that's a big difference. Of course the size is a little larger, but I normally recommend my students, when they want to switch from violin to viola, to switch to a smaller size viola, like 15 inches, so that the transition from for the left hand is not too great. But it is also true, violas that has a larger body sounds nicer and has a bigger tone too. But you have to know how you could compromise. So am I gonna compromise a little the comfort of playing for the gain of the nicer sound? Or am I gonna have a little comfortable playing but compromise on the sound quality? So you have, that's the decision that you have to make. I picked the one that comfort of left hand playing. It's a little smaller instrument, and then I tried to somehow find a way to make it sound nice. That was my choice, and that's normally what I would encourage my students as well. Other than that, what other differences there are? So now, when it comes to repertoire, because violas are initially thought as an ensemble playing instrument, so there are not as many solo repertoires as violins have. But violists play a lot of transcribed repertoires from violin and cello, so actually there are a lot of music available for them, but they're just much lesser number music that's originally written for viola solo alone. well, there are enough like Stamitz and all this Bartok and so on. So you can still find that one. But I've seen violists playing, for example, Bach solo sonata from violin and Bach suites for the cello, all transcribed very nicely for viola. It works beautifully. When it comes to sound production, just like when we play violin, the bow pressure or the bow weight changes from string to from higher string to lower string. E string cannot take less bow weight, so we have to make it a bit lighter, versus G string we can put quite a bit of weight, right? So the thicker string can take much more weight, so we can really go for it. Similar thing happens with viola, so you can actually really put quite a bit weight and then you will play very nicely. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So in general, a little more bow weight on your right hand, other than just a little more stretching on your left hand. And also when it comes to vibrato, just like, you know, for us when we play higher string and versus lower string, the width of oscillation of vibrato changes a bit, meaning when you play lower string we have to make it a bit, or we can make it a bit wider vibrato. A similar thing happens on viola, so you're playing lower strings and then thicker strings, so you can go a little wider vibrato. If the vibrato is too narrow, the way we would do on high positions on E string, that might not carry at all because it's just not audible enough. That's something you have to make it wider vibrato. Now, sometimes there's some unfair accusation of violists, and then there are some viola jokes and so on. I find it's totally unfair. In the past, there was time we did not have many great violists, so we people were mean and we made jokes about it. But that's no more the case. Nowadays, there's so many great violists with an amazing level of technique and musicality. So I can safely say nowadays we have many great violists, just like many other great violinists. Yeah. Nice thing about if you know how to play viola and violin, both instruments, you're just having more opportunities for different chances. Let's say if you are playing a string quartet, remember string quartet is made of 2 violins, 1 viola and 1 cello. So if you play violin and viola, you're covering 3/4 of it. So if somebody cannot make it, you can just jump in, and that's a great thing. And also you get to, viola is such a beautiful instrument because it has a little different, it has a lower voice that's a little closer to human voice as well. So some people just fall in love with that tone of the viola as well. I myself, when I teach both violin and viola. I tried to play viola a little more in the past. For me, somehow violin took a great part of my heart, so I just decided to take my violin as my primary instrument, and then I play viola once in a while. But I do have to admit, knowing how to play viola and knowing how to read viola clef is a great asset. So I certainly encourage all of you to try it out. Yeah. I hope this gave you some ideas. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions, and hope to see you again. Bye bye.